Have you ever wondered why there is a lower and upper Market Street in Milton? Well, it's because at one time there were two Miltons sitting right next to each other.
Right next door to Andrew Straub's Milton, a man by the name of James Black also settled a town that he also called Milton. So there were two Miltons operating side by side for a number of years, and it wasn't until 1817 that both communities were officially incorporated together, and it's that anniversary that we celebrate.
Isn't it odd that they both call it Milton?
Yes, it was known as Upper Milton or Lower Milton sometimes Straub's Milton or Black's Milton. There's evidence of this today. If you walk around town, you'll see we have an Upper Market Street and a Lower Market Street. And the reason is because Market Streets were generally the main central street in any community, and there were two communities operating side by side. So very well connected, but very much apart at the same time. So it was a really big happening for our town when it was officially incorporated together in 1817. But all through that period, it was Straub who was the driving force. Straub was resident here with his family. The Blacks were mostly speculators, and although they laid out part of their property as, quote, Upper Milton, it wasn't as large as Straub's Milton. They quickly lost their property in a sheriff's sale as well to some other speculators. So Upper Milton wasn't quite as established as Lower Milton or Straub's Milton, and that's why we credit Andrew Straub as our founder.
Milton has been celebrating its bicentennial all year and will cap it all off during a big week from June 10th through the 18th with big events, including the first passenger train rides in the borough in 50 years and a big parade. Hamilton continues to be the talk of Broadway, and it's also the focus of a local professor's attention. Matt Rousseau teaches economics at Susquehanna University and starts his classes with a song that relates to the lesson that day.
And meet the best innkeeper in town. As for the rest,
he also has a website called BroadwayEconomics.com that has 50 songs from the Great White Way that deal with economic principles.
Yeah, some other things we were able to illustrate. So there's a number of songs that talk about opportunity costs, which is what economists would describe as just the cost to give something up. Going back to Hamilton, there's a song where King George is singing, and he's telling the colonists, if you leave, I'm going to kill your friends and family. It's literally a quote in there from King George. That's trying to relay what the opportunity cost is of leaving. There's a concept in economics called elasticity, which is if you change a price, the elasticity coefficient will tell you by how much will the quantity change of what people would buy. So if a price changes a little bit, are people going to stop buying a lot? Will they? We know if the price goes up, people should buy less, but the elasticity tells us how much less would they buy. There are several songs that illustrate elasticity.
Rousseau and one of his grad students have written a paper on the number of economic principles addressed in Hamilton, and he recently began work on a book on the connection between music and economics. You can hear more about show tunes, economics, and the birth of Milton when you tune into In Your Neighborhood, Wednesday night at 6:30 and 9:30, right here on SECV8, exclusively on Service Electric Cablevision.